Welcome to HP News Channel, where we explore the economic and technological issues that are shaping the world. Today, we will learn about a seemingly small but vital sector in the global economy, semiconductors, and why. US President Donald Trump is targeting this industry, sparking a potential chip war. In the modern world, where everything seems interconnected and powered by electricity, there's a tiny yet crucial component, the semiconductor. These are also known by more familiar names, like microchips or integrated circuits. Imagine them as miniature brains, controlling every operation of the billions of electronic devices around us, from the smartphone in your hand and the laptop you're using, to the complex control systems in cars, smart car keys, and even life-saving medical devices. Essentially, semiconductors are made from incredibly small pieces of raw materials, usually silicon, altered through a complex process called doping. This process allows them to have a unique ability to sometimes conduct electricity and sometimes not. This two-sided capability has transformed them into perfect electronic switches, speaking the binary language of 0s and 1s, the foundation of all computing in the digital world. The role of semiconductors isn't limited to personal devices. They are also the backbone of the internet, present in routers, switches, and communication infrastructure, enabling the global connectivity we use every day. Even in the field of sustainable energy, semiconductors play a vital role in wind turbines and solar power farms. And in healthcare, they are the heart of medical devices and instruments, as well as implantable technologies like pacemakers and insulin pumps. When it comes to who holds the heart of this digital world, the answer might surprise many. The UK, the United States, Europe, and even China are deeply dependent on a small island, Taiwan. Specifically, the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, or TSMC, supplies over half of the world's semiconductor supply. Their customers include none other than tech giants like Nvidia, Apple, and Microsoft. This dominance has inadvertently placed TSMC at the center of a subtle strategic competition known as the chip war between the United States and China. Amidst rising geopolitical tensions, the fact that such a large portion of the critical semiconductor supply lies in a potentially risky region has become a major concern for many nations. Another notable name in the semiconductor industry is South Korea's Samsung, the world's second-largest supplier. However, the reliance on the East Asian region for the semiconductor supply chain remains an issue that many powerful nations are pondering. So, what led a prominent American political figure to decide to target the semiconductor industry? One of the main goals of the reciprocal tariff policy he advocated was to encourage companies to manufacture more products domestically. He aimed to bring jobs back to America, and the semiconductor industry, with its pivotal role, was not excluded from this focus. Previously, his administration had exempted smartphones, computers, and some other electronic devices imported from China from tariffs. However, this stance appears to be shifting. He stated to reporters on Air Force One that tariffs on imported semiconductors would soon be announced. His assertion, "We want to make our chips, our semiconductors, and a lot of other things right here in our country," clearly indicates his intentions. Beyond economic goals, he and members of his administration have repeatedly raised serious national security concerns related to manufacturing or importing microchips from abroad. They argue that this dependence could create unforeseen risks, and this issue will be carefully considered in an upcoming investigation into national security tariffs. On his Truth Social platform, on the 13th of April, 2025, he wrote, "We are looking at semiconductors and the entire electronic supply chain in the upcoming national security tariff investigation." He also emphasized that the United States would not allow itself to be held hostage by other countries, particularly China, in this critical technology sector. In recent years, the United States has spent a significant amount of money trying to boost domestic technology production, including the semiconductor industry. The US CHIPS Act is a prime example, offering attractive funding to encourage companies to shift chip manufacturing operations to America. TSMC, recognizing this trend, has also increased its presence in the United States in response to previous regulations from his administration. The US government has committed $6.6 billion in funding to TSMC to build an advanced chip manufacturing plant in Arizona. This is seen as a crucial step in the effort to rebuild the domestic semiconductor industry. However, realizing this goal is not easy. TSMC's project in Arizona has previously faced significant delays due to a shortage of skilled workers, a problem that could become an even greater obstacle to expanding semiconductor production across the United States. According to reports, TSMC was only able to address the personnel shortage by bringing thousands of skilled workers from Taiwan to the United States. This highlights the complexity and challenges in building a sufficiently skilled workforce to meet domestic semiconductor manufacturing demands. The decision to impose tariffs on imported semiconductors could have far-reaching consequences for the global supply chain and the prices of countless electronic devices. American companies that import semiconductors would face higher costs, and this could be passed on to consumers. Simultaneously, America's trading partners could take retaliatory measures, increasing international trade tensions. Furthermore, this move risks escalating the chip war between the US and China. If the US imposes restrictions on Chinese semiconductors, Beijing could take corresponding countermeasures, affecting American technology companies operating in China and disrupting the global supply chain. The question remains whether this policy will truly be effective in rebuilding the American semiconductor industry, or whether it will simply cause unnecessary disruptions and harm the global economy. The answer will likely only be revealed in the future. The semiconductor industry, a seemingly mundane sector, has now become a critical battleground in the economic and technological power competition between major nations. The decision to target the heart of global technology demonstrates an awareness of the strategic importance of semiconductors in the 21st century. Can the United States successfully reduce its dependence on foreign suppliers and build a robust domestic semiconductor industry? This journey will undoubtedly be fraught with challenges and require significant investment of time and resources. However, in an environment of increasing national security concerns and technological competition, this is perhaps a game that the US cannot afford not to play. Thank you for listening to HP News Channel. Stay tuned for the latest developments in this fascinating chip war. Goodbye, and see you in the next episode.